So cybersecurity is common sense.
Absolutely.
This will make for a good headline, at least for the podcast.
It is absolute common sense. You have to follow it. A very simple common sense thing is like everybody screams कि password जो है should be complex. How many people have complex passwords? I don't.
So सबसे common password क्या होता है sir?
1, 2, 3, 4.
अच्छा.
The second thing is this that any of these grocery stores, how good is their security? मतलब जिस जगह में जो है गंदगी पड़ी है, जहाँ पे जो है बंदा खड़ा हुआ है, जो भी खड़ा हुआ है, अनजान आदमी, he doesn't know why he is taking the number from you. Why are you giving me your number? And if I stop you or anybody else, man or woman, and I say अपना number बताओ, तो मेरे को क्या बोलोगे? So it's like you have to secure your own self, and it is nothing else but common sense. Yeah, the business of cybersecurity has been, a great opportunity right from day one. So 2001.
It's a big business.
Absolutely. So it's something which should be happening and it's not happening.
So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On January 29 and 30th, 2026, we will have the Mahakumbh of Security, ICES 2026. इसमें फिजिकल, साइबर और इलेक्ट्रॉनिक सिक्योरिटी के तमाम धुरंधर अंडर वन रूफ इकट्ठे होंगे and we will have very high quality conversations, very high quality interactions with the OEMs, system integrators, subject matter expert, government officials, leading experts on cybersecurity. So in the lead up to the event, we are hosting some renowned experts from the industry. So today it's my honor and privilege to welcome Dinesh O. Bareja. Dinesh ji is one of the leading cybersecurity experts in the country. So warm welcome, Dinesh Bareja.
Thank you, Sam, and my pleasure to be here with you today. Looking forward to the event, of course.
So Dinesh ji, ये बताइए, on 9/11/2001, the day that changed the world, you were in New York.
I was in New York, yes.
So क्या हुआ? And how did it change your life?
No, it's all over there, and देखा something went wrong. Not very near to the World Trade Center, but a bit far away from there. But you could see the smoke rising over there, and the next day you learned the word on the street was कि रशिया ने अटैक कर दिया.
So conspiracy theory is not unique to India.
Yes, yes, yes. अगले दिन मालूम पड़ा कि exactly क्या हुआ. Because I had some friends who had a restaurant in that same block or whatever, and the restaurant of course got closed. Yeah. But in that area, in that period of time, I was again one day sitting in Starbucks having a coffee. एंड न्यूयॉर्क टाइम्स पढ़ा हुआ था, साथ में टाइम पास कर लिया, हमने भी पढ़ना शुरू कर दिया. एक छोटा सा आर्टिकल था उसमें, जस्ट अबाउट two columns and about 6 inches, and it was about computer security. होता क्या है, पढ़ा, 2 मिनट लगा पढ़ने के लिए, and what struck me is so simple, and what struck me in that article was that people don't follow it.
So is computer security very technical? Because IT security, cyber security, लोग बोलते हैं बहुत technical है, so nobody wants to come in.
Frankly, that by itself is the biggest joke around the place, and of course it's a money-making joke.
अच्छा. So it's simple, you say?
It is common sense.
Okay.
Use common sense, and you would have sort of, I would not say 100% secured yourself. You would have at least done more than 40-50%. In any case, even if you spend $1 million or 2 million or 100 million, which companies do spend, they still don't call themselves secure.
So cyber security is common sense. Absolutely. This will make for a good headline, at least for the podcast.
It is absolute common sense. You have to follow it. A very simple common sense thing is like everybody screams कि password जो है should be complex. How many people have complex passwords? I don't. So, but I don't share my password anywhere. I don't open my phone anywhere.
So सबसे common password क्या होता है sir?
1, 2, 3, 4.
अच्छा.
Okay. And everybody tells you don't use the.
I mean, it should be alphanumeric. It should be like
this and that.
Capital होना चाहिए, complex characters.
Another common sense thing is what I go to. Of course, in India it's very common. I'm going to buy something, buy a coffee. The next thing it says, what's your phone number? Everybody gives his or her phone number.
So coffee लेने गए तो phone number क्यों चाहिए सर?
Coffee लेने के लिए.
या medicine खरीदने गए?
Medicine लेने के लिए. सब्जी भाजी खरीदने के लिए.
So मेरे को जुकाम है तो मेरे phone number क्यों चाहिए भाई?
But the first thing they ask you is phone number. You ask the guy why it's database के लिए चाहिए, ये इसके लिए चाहिए. The most foolish thing is you do is you're giving a number. Why?
लाइक कर लेते हैं किसी को सर, हर चीज में.
चलो लाइक
फ्रेंड रिक्वेस्ट एक्सेप्ट कर लिया.
लाइक चलिए, आप वो तो आप थोड़ा मतलब प्राइवेटली कर रहे हो ना. यहाँ तो आप खड़े हो, If I see a nice looking girl in front of me and she gives her number, I make her number. And then I start calling her. How does she know where I got the number from? Okay. The second thing is this, that any of these grocery stores, how good is their security? मतलब जिस जगह में जो है गंदगी पड़ी है, जहाँ पे जो है बंदा खड़ा हुआ है, जो भी खड़ा हुआ है, अनजान आदमी, he doesn't know why he is taking the number from you. Why are you giving me your number? And if I stop you or anybody else, man or woman, and I say अपना number बताओ, आप तो मेरे को मारा क्या बोलोगे? So it's like this. You have to secure your own self, and it is nothing else but common sense.
So you are CEO of Open Security Alliance. So how did you kind of very catchy name, and how did you get this idea of alliance?
No, the idea of alliance was, of course, when I came back after that US thing. The idea was that it's so simple and nobody is doing it, so let me do it. And I found very few people in the country who were doing it. I found a few friends who were in this, who of course knew more than me, and we formed an alliance. And of course they went away. Or they went to
the alliance
jobs.
remained.
The alliance remained.
Okay.
And it continues till date.
So let us discuss two things. So the first theme is the business of cybersecurity, and the second part is cybersecurity in business. So just Bhag, maybe can you demystify these two things?
Yeah, the business of cybersecurity has been, a great opportunity right from day one. So 2001.
So it's a big business.
Absolutely. Well, it's something which should be happening and it's not happening. So the smallest company to the biggest companies. Everybody has been hacked at one time or the other. And then one very famous gentleman had said, if you've not been hacked, you will be, or you are being hacked.
So there are only two type of companies. One is those who have been hacked and don't know they have been hacked.
Yeah.
And the second, those who have been hacked.
Exactly.
And they don't know they have been hacked.
So it's like, वो विधि का विधान है. एक ना एक दिन तो होना ही है. या हो गया तो आपको मालूम नहीं है.
And हो गया तो फिर से हो सकता है.
हो सकता है. It's not that. And it's the same thing. Okay, it's still हो सकता है. So there is that ransomware thing, People pay money, फिरौती दे देते हैं. But there is no guarantee आपने एक बारी फिरौती दे दी है तो बंदा फिर से.
नहीं, but these days they are very smart. So it happens in phases. First they give you a little bit more, and then they know your propensity to pay. So they give you a little bit more. They ask you more money, and then it's in multiple phases.
It goes that way, yes. But that is only de-risking. De-risking also, nothing else. The basic thing is कि आपका माल जो है चोर के पास पहुंच गया. And it's not sona chandi where he gives the sona or chandi back to you and you know कि मेरे सारे assets वापस आ गए. It's a copy. He or she has exfiltrated your data. And that data वो कितने copy बन गए आपको मालूम नहीं है. So you can only say कि भाई हाँ ठीक है भगवान की दया है, whatever it is. But it works that way.
Hope is not a strategy.
Absolutely.
आपने बताया था एक बार.
So now, like you said, the business of cybersecurity is fantastic. It has grown since 2001 when I sort of started out. 2001, 2004. And it has grown. It had the same promise at that time. It has a bigger promise today. The reason is very simple. That at that time we used to talk only about computer security or audit and all that. Today we are talking about multiple, I would say, regulatory agencies which are here in the country.
So थोड़ा इसको दो भाग में ले लेते हैं सर. एक threat vectors पहले ले लेते हैं. I think the business of security rises proportionately with the rise in threat levels. तो cyber security का threat landscape बड़ा ही diverse, diffused, complex, amorphous type है. So from script kiddies to nation states, बहुत सारे लोग involved हैं. तो can you decipher कि threat spectrum of कैसा है?
Threat spectrum is proportional to the technology growth.
Okay.
What were we doing?
ये script kiddies होते क्या है सर? ये बहुत सुनता हूँ.
Script kiddies is a term which is used to sort of refer to new boys or girls who have come into security. And कहते हैं ना कीड़ा करते करते they have learned.
And they kind of do it for fun.
They will do either for fun or for profit also. Okay. If you go back 10-15 years, these boys and girls were very active. They are still active on compromising Uber, Ola, getting free this thing. I remember there was a group of 3 or 4 boys who were arrested sometime in 2006 or 2007 in Lucknow from a 5-star hotel. Okay. So they were staying there, young kids, college के बच्चे थे, and they were arrested from there because they had compromised cars and they had been using cabs and all that. and they were using stolen credit cards to pay for the hotel.
And for them it was fun.
No, it was fun, and they've been doing it for a long time. Okay, and over the years, you've seen stories of which have been reported in the foreign newspapers also about boys and girls in this country who have helped in nation-state activities overseas. So there are all those sort of things. The black hat, they are the script kiddies or they are black hats. So the script kiddie, of course, is a boy or girl who has learned that way. But there are good boys and girls also who do good work.
So one thing I know is that sir, people who used to work with us in cybersecurity, they all of a sudden go missing, and after 5-6 years, I think they have made enough money. They have gone overseas. Probably I don't know who they worked with, but they come back. They're generally doing much better, driving bigger cars.
Bigger cars. They have big money at home
and some yachts also.
Yes, some yachts also. There were these young guys who were like 2-3 years of experience, and I remember they used to go to some African country and make $1,000 a day for training. Doesn't get training ki and come back home with $10,000-$20,000 in hand. So,
wow.
And we used to think, अरे हम 10-15,000-20,000 रुपए बनाते हैं ये बंदा जो है So it is that way. So the business is great, has had great opportunity right from the beginning, and today it is becoming bigger because today the regulators have stepped in. See, at one time we used to claim कि CERT है या RBI है, they are not very strict. Today all these guys are very strict.
So all the regulators, these are all very banking, finance,
absolutely,
insurance,
yes,
everything is regulated.
Regulated, and the regulators, see, the laws were there for banking, or for NBFC, or for insurance companies, or for the listed companies. There were laws. There were business laws, right? Now there are the laws which include security. Okay. So, for example, SEBI cybersecurity guidelines are around 330 pages.
So how do you implement them, sir?
You have to.
And there are all over the world. Europe, if you go to, you will find GDPR.
Yes.
I think regulators all over the world are becoming more unforgiving.
And the most recent law which came into the country is DPDP, privacy.
It's just been implemented.
Yeah. So I wonder privacy कैसे लगाएंगे जब all of us are giving our phone number to anybody who asks for the number.
So awareness is going to be a big thing in defense.
Awareness has always been a big thing. But the only time I feel that awareness, the only time when awareness became actually percolated to every citizen in the country was during COVID. Okay. That was the only time. Baki aap dekhiye, there is a lot of awareness, money being spent.
So cybersecurity was as much of a problem as COVID itself.
No, it is a bigger. It was now. It is a bigger problem.
COVID went away, cybersecurity remained.
It was a problem. COVID came and went. It is still a problem, and the problem is growing. Now you have AI.
And how do you kind of secure yourself, sir? So cybersecurity in business ab lete hain. So how do you secure yourself?
The first thing is to reach out to the people. Forget that. First thing is to build your own system, which is secure. 90% bolna chahiye, but a majority of people who create systems, they do not think about security.
It's an afterthought. Entrepreneur they want to first build a product, go to market very quickly, and then security is bolted on as an afterthought.
No, not even bolted on. He goes
till regulator steps in.
No. He or she goes to a company and says, I want to bid for this.
Okay.
The bidding requirement says ISO 27001 certification.
So that's the first time they ever heard of
ISO 27001. What is this? So he goes into the market and says, what is this? So somebody tells him it will cost you 6 lakhs or 10 lakh rupees. Another guy says, 10,000 mein hai.
Then they take the 10,000 one.
Of course.
Who takes them for a ride?
No.
Okay.
It is a certificate.
Okay.
Which is valid. And he buys that certificate. And that's it. He is good for 3 years.
You meet the compliance, but you have not done the spirit of that. You are not secure.
You've done nothing.
Okay.
You went to the market, you bought a certificate, came out. And it works.
So you are on the right side of law, but you are not secure.
Absolutely. So it is easy.
Regulators won't go after you, but the bad guys will continue to go after you.
But you still don't know what you have done is right or wrong. Forget about being right and wrong. You still don't know whether, how vulnerable you are. And that is the reason why smaller companies, you will not find them coming in the news. But if you talk among your friends, you will find somebody other has been hacked. Somebody other has lost some money. Somebody other, has been... Maybe their business has collapsed also. So, and remember one thing, that cyber security is not just about securing your systems, putting the hacker out. No, it is also your own mistakes, taking care of that. I'll give you another example.
So you could have malicious, you could have malicious actors from outside, and from the inside also you could have either ignorant insiders or malicious insiders.
Exactly, ignorant insiders. Forget about malware, forget about virus, forget about hacker.
I mean, own stupidity can also cost you.
No, even not stupidity.
Lack of knowledge.
What do we do over here? We don't even buy 200 rupee antivirus. We don't pay for that also. There's an architect whom I know. He got hit for 1.5 crores because he was using pirated software. And all these companies, all the large companies, they all track you.
Okay.
So somebody came to know that this guy is using pirated software. There was a raid on his, and he had to pay the money. The copyright law is very strong, and the guy doesn't know, because he was told that you buy this, it will cost you maybe 30-40 lakhs for the license. But sir, 5,000 में लग जाएगा. आप लगाओ, चलाओ.
तो अभी ऐसा है तो AI will be further game changing.
Exactly. AI will
क्या
change.
हो रहा है? What will AI do to cyber security?
Well, it's again like a double-edged sword. It's helping the defender and it's helping the
Sir,
attacker
आर्मी में
also.
मैं था तो हमेशा सुनता था टैंक ने अपने आर्मर मोटा कर लिया, एंटी टैंक हैज बिकम बिगर, सो टैंक बिकम्स इवन काइंड ऑफ मोर प्रोटेक्टेड.
Right.
सेम इफ यू गो टू इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मेजर्स, देन द इलेक्ट्रॉनिक काउंटर मेजर्स, देन काउंटर मेजर्स. ड्रोन गया, फिर काउंटर ड्रोन आया, देन काउंटर ड्रोन. सो आई थिंक दिस कैट एंड माउस गेम विल कंटिन्यू.
This will continue, and it becomes more and more sophisticated. Now you were a tank, for example. Okay, there's a tank over there. Can you aim your your tank to hit the other tank's nozzle? No, because that is only about 6 inches.
Yes.
You can't aim there, right?
Yes.
But if you have AI,
Okay.
and your missile aims at 6 inches over there and hits that 6 inch, but then that is the vulnerability for the tank, right?
No, Sindoor you saw, sir. Missiles went 300 miles
Exactly.
and they hit like pinpoint inches.
Yes. That is what is there.
So AI is going to be very targeted.
No, absolutely. There was long time back, of course, there was another video which was a conceptual video. We have seen that. It's a micro drone, which goes and kills the guy. So what do you do?
मतलब ढूंढ के घर में घुस के मारूंगा.
नहीं, वो तो खड़ा हुआ था ना, उसको वहाँ जाके मारा ना. So you don't need a sniper, you don't need anybody else. It just goes and.
We used to call it fire and forget.
Yes.
Missiles.
And today science or technology or even drone technology, you hear about micro drones or miniature drones which can enter your bloodstream and do things over there.
Wow.
So there's a lot coming ahead.
I mean, we are seeing deep fakes, sir. इतने sophisticated हो गए, you can't make out.
That's the whole point. When deepfake came, we never thought about the fact that it can hit us. We have not done a risk assessment. Just like, for example, what MidCat does. So, that this is coming our way, or it is 5 years away. Let's do a risk assessment now. Unfortunately, in our country, we don't do that.
So, जो mature organizations होते हैं, how their cyber security is organized? How do they kind of organize the cyber security?
So it is again based, most of it is reactive, frankly, from whatever I have seen.
Even large organizations.
Large companies also, I have seen they've been reactive.
I've seen some global organizations. They are really kind of they take it quite very seriously. The very big ones.
The very big ones, I would say, not the Indian ones.
No, the global.
Yes.
Let's take the global big tech giants.
Yes.
The big 7 or something, big 5. They really take it very seriously.
So, for example, one of the large conglomerates over here was a client of mine. They had a 5 crore IT budget, for example. The security budget was
less than $1 million.
The security budget out of that 5 crores was 20 lakhs.
I mean, we're talking about $2,000, $3,000.
Exactly. And it's a listed top 100 VSE. So it's a shame.
$20,000-$30,000 whole year for the whole conglomerate.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
And they had just one person who was a CISO, that was all. And of course, we had 2 or 3 boys who were working over there in that 20 lakhs.
So how do you kind of, isn't it alarming?
What do you do?
I mean, you're waiting for things to happen.
Exactly. But it's good luck.
I mean, hope is not a strategy, sir.
Whatever
You said it many times.
No, whatever it is, he would come here and refresh, I would say, a box of agarbatti waiting for him every day. So issue नहीं है.
So God is, if Lord Balaji is with you, hackers, he or she will keep away.
हिंदुस्तान में वैसे ही we've got lakhs of gods, so issue नहीं है.
No, we've got about one God for every 4 Indians.
तो एक नहीं तो दूसरा कोई ना कोई तो नजर रख के बैठा वहाँ.
So, any message for cybersecurity professionals and even those not in cybersecurity, Dinesh?
No, see, of course, the main thing is ethics. So whatever you do, are you ethical in terms of whatever you are doing, in terms of not just doing, even thinking. And let me tell you, it's the lack of ethics is on both sides of the table. So if I am going and doing security in a company, and you are buying the security from me, or I am doing an audit, and you're buying my audit time. Even in that case, there's a lot of unethical.
So just tell me, I mean, what does a good security audit involve? Just very simply.
No, it just means that you have a baseline. Your baseline can be an ISO standard, or it can be a regulatory standard, or a regulatory or a legal requirement. And against that, you are doing you are checking people. You are checking whether the systems are there or not, whether they are configured or not, whether they are resilient or not. That's what you are doing.
So let's take it one step back. अगर risk management लेते हैं सर, तो हर every organization has got some asset. Now, right. Asset is something of value, and then you have a whole lot of threats which exploit vulnerabilities to create risks.
Right.
Now, these could be strategic, operational, financial, legal, reputational, physical, and then you apply controls.
Right.
So, is cybersecurity also kind of follows this similar?
You don't. Why are we thinking cybersecurity? See, the moment you say cybersecurity, the whole ballgame changes. People start thinking, it's out of the world.
It's just like any security. All security, the basic principles remain the same.
Sir, forget about that also. Real life, you walk out of your house, you are doing a risk assessment.
Okay.
You walking down the staircase, you are doing a risk assessment. You are sitting here on the chair, you are doing a risk assessment. जैसे मैं बैठा हूँ, the moment I sat down, I just did my chair like this.
Okay.
To see whether it falls back or not. That is a risk assessment. If the spring is weak or something is wrong, you can go back. So you are holding yourself, right? When the floor is wet, you will not run over there. When you are a kid, you will slide down the staircase. Now that you are grown up, you will not do that because you've got more mature. Now you think before you do something like that. That is risk assessment. It's a very simple. See, risk assessment. People again have a lot of thought, and yes, it is very complex, no doubt about that. But fundamentally, risk is what? Risk is probability. Probability. होता कि नहीं होगा.
And
multiply by impact. You can just put a scale 1 to 10.
So high asset value, high probability, high impact is high risk.
Probability क्या? If you will say, how will I know the probability कि भाई ये काम का क्या? Simple बात है. आप सोचते हो कि ये मैं उठा के जा रहा हूँ, तो ये गिरेगा कि नहीं गिरेगा? हाँ गिरेगा. अच्छा गिर सकते हैं, गिरने का क्या चांस है? स्केल ऑफ 1 to 10 आप बोलोगे 3. इम्पैक्ट क्या होगा? पैसे पूरे डूब जाएंगे. पूरे डूब जाएंगे तो मतलब ऑन स्केल ऑफ 1 to 10 हो गया, कम हो गया. एक बार कर तो लो.
Okay. So it's
that conglomerate I told you about, Lavaga doesn't have a risk assessment, risk register. हम बोल के थक गए उसको. So and okay बन गया. अब एक बार बन गया, उसके बाद में उनको जो थ्रेशोल्ड चाहिए था, बोले ये होता है नहीं होता, ये होता है नहीं होता, सबको 0-0 करके खत्म हो गया. But it doesn't work that way because you don't have a committee, you don't have people who are from different departments who are sitting. That's what I said. Common sense क्या है? Common sense means कि आपकी कंपनी में who are the stakeholders? Every department is a stakeholder. Your finance, admin, HR, sales, everybody is a stakeholder.
So let's dig this little deeper. So in a corporate organization, let's take a large corporate organization that would have multiple stakeholders.
Yes, absolutely.
So cyber security के लिए जब आप जाते हैं, so there will be probably one owner, CISO, or somebody, or chief risk officer.
Okay, yes.
And then who else are involved in, who else would you like?
Everybody.
Cyber security is everybody's responsibility.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Every HOD.
So tell me who all.
For example, HR.
Okay.
अभी HR में जो उन्होंने ठीक से payroll रखे नहीं है. The only thing with the protect is the payroll. And
background में कोई आता है तो background vetted होना चाहिए.
तो उनको अपना डर है कि payroll खुल ना जाए, आपकी सैलरी उसको नहीं मालूम पड़े, इसकी सैलरी उसको नहीं. That is all they concerned with, right? वो तो बचाना है उसको. That is where security comes in. ब्रो तुम देखो से तुमने कितने लोगों को एक्सेस दिया है वहाँ पे, नहीं देखा? कोई भी है दे दिया, कोई भी है
So
चला।
legal, PRs, everybody is involved.
Yes,
Physical
absolutely.
security guys,
Legal-
emergency response.
लीगल सर कौन सा था, पेंडोरा पेपर्स कौन से थे, पनामा पेपर्स,
Panama Papers.
व्हाट हैपेंड, ग्लोबल बंदों के नाम लिख लेते, इंक्लूडिंग बिग सेलिब्रिटीज ऑफ इंडिया एंड बिग इंडस्ट्रीज। सो लीगल कंपनी कितनी है, हाउ मच हैव दे सिक्योर्ड देमसेल्व्स, कुछ किया कि नहीं किया। बट द प्रॉब्लम इज व्हाट दे इंडिया में तो ये है कि भाई इफ आई वांट एन आईटी गाय टू कम इन, आई कैन गेट एन आईटी कम, सीटी मारूंगा तो बंदा आ जाएगा एंड ही विल डू माई वर्क फॉर मी फॉर लाइक 1,000-2,000 rupees.
But are they fit for purpose or not? That we don't see.
No, that he'll come and set up your system and go away. Sir, चल गया. One very
Sir, chalta hai is not a kind of,
exactly
is not a
no,
great strategy.
that's why, see, there's one more very small risk which people overlook. Domain name. Your company is midcat.in, my company is opensecurity.in, right? किसने, who bought that domain name? Did you buy it? Did your web developer buy it? Did ABC banda buy it? 90% of majority companies, what happens? You will call a web developer. He'll tell you कि भाई ऐसा होता है, ऐसा होता है. I'm a total newbie, for example. ये ऐसा होता है, web ऐसे बनती है वेबसाइट और उसके लिए आपको डोमेन नेम चाहिए। आपको डोमेन नेम क्या होता है? बोले सर yourname.com और वॉट एवर। ये कैसे मिलता है? सर मैं लेता हूँ 2 मिनट ठहरो, he'll pick up his phone, टिक टिक टिक, 500 रुपये मिल गया, ये आपका डोमेन नेम बन गया। अरे वाह, वेरी गुड, आई एम वेरी इम्प्रेस्ड। Now he has put his own name, his own email address, his own phone number. So what happens is that the ownership is his, not yours. And
Okay, so let's say it becomes a unicorn. Now the domain name is owned by that guy.
So and when will it be? It has to be. You have to pay on it for a yearly basis or whatever basis. And if you miss out, the very next day it goes. Google lost Google.com for a few hours
Oh God.
because it was not renewed.
Okay.
They missed out on the renewal. 500 रुपए का renewal है ना? Who cares about that?
Okay.
One. The second thing is we told the client, put it on your asset register, monetize करो इसको. अरे you are a conglomerate. Your name is huge.
It's worth billions of dollars.
Absolutely. Forget the millions of dollars. If I take away your domain name right now, your email goes down, top. Your whole business goes down.
You said a very interesting thing. कि security at its heart is the same, whether you call it cyber security, electronic security, physical security. And I think that's a great note to come to the main part of this discussion, which is about ICE 2026, which
Yes.
I told you, which is a Mahakumbh of security leaders.
Exactly. So ICE is going to bring business leaders, technology leaders, and across the board. So which I found interesting was hospitality, then there is the construction industry, and the legal guys. So across these
banking,
sections,
finance, data center वाले तो
ये
आएंगे
तो
ही, sir,
आते ही
it's
हैं,
Mumbai.
मतलब they are all common guys, ना?
Yeah.
But for these people, they have to understand. So let's talk about, for example, hospitality.
Yeah, ICE is very the hosts of ICE, you know,
they are well connected in that area.
Yeah, they're very big in hospitality and
Absolutely.
healthcare. तो ये seriously लेते हैं क्या sir security?
नहीं,
Hospitality वाले let's take.
नहीं लेते नहीं है, but there are bad experiences. Marriott has been a very big victim. So globally, not just here. So there are cases. Legal, we know. We just talked about Panama Papers, right? Construction, yes. Recently there was something, I don't know, some Indian company which had a, but across the board, there's nobody who's safe. Nobody. Even a small company is not safe. I told you about this architect friend of mine. 2 crores. One he was the architect, and he had 2 assistants who used to work with him.
So you're expecting, you know, so let me frame it this way. So what do you expect from ICE 2026?
So I expect, the attendees to sort of first understand what's happening, because the lineup of speakers which you have, that lineup will be able
Very
to provide
impressive.
them with sort of, basics or even advanced, let us say, information.
So we are having
They
top
can ask-
OEMs, we are having system integrators, the CISOs, the CSOs, the government folks. So they're all coming together.
Exactly the
under
right
one
people
roof.
to ask questions. So if I am in the hospitality industry or am I in construction or something, and I say it doesn't apply to me, maybe I can ask anybody, why do you say this? I did, it doesn't apply to me. I'm going out, and the guy, Google is there on the dais or whatever, can tell you exactly where it applies to you. And,
Yeah, I mean, so at a very simple level, you took hospitality industry. So I have seen in my own limited kind of experience that hotels with better security or better perception of security, let's put it this way, they can command premiums. Similarly, schools, if it is seen as safe, we would like to send our children to those schools, and they command higher premiums. So security is, I think, a brand and business aggregator. Do you agree?
No, absolutely. So you can always use security or your secure, I would say, status as a sales point also, as a point to build your credibility.
So it's a differentiator.
Absolutely. So if you see all these large companies, they have a separate section on their website where they provide you with all their certifications and.
So all these things, banks, schools, hotels, data centers, they all use security as a brand aggregator?
I do believe they do. Okay. I'm not too sure, but yes, I do know that the cloud service providers or the hosting providers.
But do you feel people are ready to pay a premium for extra security?
They may not pay a premium, but at least see, if I don't pay you a premium, at least my business comes to you.
Okay.
Or I'm more, comfortable giving my business to you. So that it works that way, either which way.
So back to the same question, what's your message to the cybersecurity professionals and those not in cybersecurity?
So those not in cybersecurity is very simple. So if you're not in cybersecurity as a cybersecurity professional, it doesn't make a difference. There is something called security which applies to you, whether you like it or not. Okay. So at a personal level or at a professional level, both ways it applies. Cyber crimes are happening every day. And 2 trillion or 3 trillion worth of business across the world.
I mean, more than, now it's close to $8-9 trillion. So it's double of India's GDP.
You may think that cybercrime is more,
India and German economy put together, so it's that big.
No, it's a better place to be in rather than being on the other side of this thing. Yeah. But yes, so you can't think that it doesn't apply to you.
And as you said, security at the end is common sense.
Exactly. And when I say it doesn't apply to you, again, another very risky area coming up is your car. You're driving home and go to YouTube, you'll see that. The car being taken over while it is on the road.
Oh my God.
So this is on a US highway where you're driving at 130, 140 and he takes over your car remotely.
So a lot of people have registered for ICE 2026.
Your steering doesn't work, your brake doesn't work.
Oh my God, that's scary.
Your gear, nothing works. Your radio doesn't work. And you are at 130, 140 in the middle of the highway.
Oh God.
What happens?
So driverless cars also, the threat is real?
Absolutely. So, see, everything which is made by human beings is vulnerable.
Oh my God.
And it's not that what was made by God is not vulnerable.
So those built by God have some degree of resilience. Built by humans, absolutely hackable.
There is something or the other. There's nothing perfect in the world. So yes. So for the non-professional, please do not think that this doesn't apply to you. Don't think cyber security. Think security. Think your personal security. Think your family security.
So security applies to everyone.
Absolutely.
And security in an organization is everyone's responsibility.
Yes.
So thank you very much, sir. That's a great note to end on. Security is common sense and security applies to everyone. Thank you very much.